Well, it is Sunday morning. It is Capital Region Sunday. I am Richie Phillips here with Elizabeth Reiss this morning, the CEO of the Arts Center of the Capital Region. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning to you.
Nice to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I always try to start with a quote. I thought this was interesting. I don't know. This is an artist. I believe he's a musician. His name is Darren Criss. I've never heard of him before. Have you?
No, I haven't.
But he said something interesting. He said, as a composer and a musician, I'm a true believer. And I'm a believer that there's artistry in everything, from a lawn gnome to a desk chair to a symphony to an Andy Warhol painting. There is art in absolutely everything. And I'm sure you guys have to agree.
Oh, absolutely. I always say to people, the way you choose to dress, the decisions you made that morning in terms of the shirt you're wearing or the pants you have or the shoes you selected, all of that is decision-making, how you want to represent yourself. And that's a kind of creative thinking, how you're going to put that together. The color walls that you want in your house, the style purse that a lady carries, all of those are creative decisions, and art is absolutely everywhere. I totally agree.
It's true. So what is the Arts Center of the Capital Region? What do you do?
We do so many things. It's so much fun. I only started about a month ago, so I don't know everything that we do, and that's been a great discovery. But for the most part, what we have is a set of studios where we teach a variety of fine and craft art to anybody who wants to take a class, from kids to adults to people with special needs to any type of public that is interested in this. So you can come in and learn woodworking. We have lathes and chop saws and all that kind of heavy equipment. We have painting studios, drawing studios, stained glass, jewelry. You can come in and make your own hammered earrings. We do one-time format so that you can come in just one day, or we have these really in-depth 16-week-long classes. And then we also have a gallery to inspire you by local artists coming in with new work. And then we have a black box theater, just throw that in there too, to be really a multi-arts program.
And the only thing, Elizabeth, we never mentioned, where are you located?
We are right in downtown Troy on River Street, right at Monument Square. So if anybody has ever been to the farmer's market, we're right in the thick of that.
Sure, absolutely. Now, how are you supported, though? How do you pay for all this?
Well, by the kindness of all of you. But no, a lot of it is the tuition that people pay. We do think that we give a very good value. We look all around the community to make sure that we are well within what is affordable for people. Troy is not an overwhelmingly rich area, and we're very aware of that. We also have memberships. We get funding from the New York State Council on the Arts. And then we get donations from people who are inspired by our mission to share arts with all people.
Why do you think, it just drives me insane because I'm a musician at heart, and why do you think in schools that's the first thing that they cut? Why do they think that's not important, but sports is? I mean, everything's important, so why do they cut one for the other? It just drives me crazy.
You know, I don't know why they pick one thing over another, like sports versus arts. I know that people have a hard time seeing how it affects their lives as adults. I think that it's been a slow erosion as each generation maybe embraces it less and less, so it's easier to give up. But I also think it's kind of short-sighted, because if we don't have people who can be open-minded and problem solve and be comfortable with open-ended decision-making, we as a community aren't going to be able to solve some of the bigger challenges that we face.
They've even proven that a person who's artistic and a person who's musical, that also helps with their learning, and it helps their brain function, and it's very, very beneficial to them.
It is, and so I think that arts is going to come back, and places like the Arts Center are key to both advocating in our public community to bring arts back into education. I think Common Core and curricula like that right now, teachers are struggling to make sure that they're meeting criteria that's been sort of layered on them, and their teaching hours are very pressed. I think that this is something that will change with time again, and hopefully we can all just do our best to bring arts education to situations maybe outside of the classroom, and that's why it's even more important to have the Arts Center.
This has got to be a blast for you to be in this position. What's the favorite aspect of the job that you have so far? What do you like the most?
The surprises. The artists who come in to teach, we call them faculty, they have so many different backgrounds, from being either maybe a college professor and they're doing this on the side, to somebody who's had just a lifelong interest in a medium. Maybe they grew up here, maybe they didn't. No one faculty member has the same story, and I just think it really reflects all of these interesting people that live in the Capital Region, and it's great to meet them.
So let me back up here. If I had a child that was really interested in art and I wanted him or her to pursue it even more, and I know that in public school there's only so much time they can spend with each individual kid, this would be the place to take them.
Well,
correct?
that's just it. Absolutely. And what we can do is we've got family Sundays and Saturdays. It depends on the season. And you can come in with your kid, and he or she can get to know the environment. And you work side by side. And, not everybody's great at art. And I think what's great about what we call parallel play and parallel instruction is you guys can be goofy together, and you can learn together, so that your kid can see that you also maybe don't always know how to have the perfect art project at the end of the day, but you've enjoyed the process, and you've enjoyed it. So we start there, but then you can also do summer camps. We've got week-long instruction.
Wow.
And then we have some after-school classes for kids who maybe really want to get into a particular medium. My daughter took a lot of the cartooning and digital arts classes, and that's actually how I first got to know the center.
It's funny now. I have a relative who did all the animation for Popeye cartoons and Betty Boop.
Well, so you have to come here, because isn't that a fun story? And you can bring it here now. And I bet you the medium's changed a little bit, because we do a lot of that on computer now.
Oh, sure.
We have this amazing computer digital lab that kids can learn state-of-the-art how artists and technicians are doing it across the world. So it might look a little different, but the intent's the same.
Yeah, but ironically, I have no artistic ability whatsoever.
You don't know that. See, that's just it. You don't know that. And sometimes I think that because we get busy and we have to pass those tests and we have to make a living, we don't have time to find out. But there's something in you. You don't know what it is yet. You can find out here.
It's true. When I think back in a traditional classroom, in a traditional art class where you have kids who are really good in art, sometimes if you're not the greatest in art, it makes you even more shy, and you don't want to show what you can possibly do. You don't know the potential that you have unless maybe you are in a one-on-one situation or in a fun environment versus a structured one.
Well, that's exactly it. And I mean, maybe you might like more of a technical side of it all, and maybe you're going to want to learn how to make beautiful woodworking, or maybe you're going to want to learn how to work with metal, or maybe you are going to find your idea in movement. We have a whole dance studio. Between music, dance, writing, speaking, storytelling, there's something in you.
Sure.
And if you want to find it, you can find out.
Well, it's a great service that you're providing. Now, you also have benefits to raise money, right? Are you going to do one?
We have a variety of different benefits. We have one in a couple of weeks that's actually for the YWCA, but we think it's such a wonderful alignment of our mission. It's called Brava, and it's to help people who maybe have left domestic violence situations and they've gone to the Y and they need help getting themselves settled again. And so ladies need bras. And so this is an opportunity to help get them back on their feet. And artists will be there and doing interesting things with that and making it sort of a fun awareness of what people go through when they end up in these situations. Sometimes our fundraisers are directed more towards our artists in residence. Our gala in May is about buying art and trying to make sure that we collect the artists in our community. So we're always looking at a variety of ways that art intersects with how the community is thriving.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Reiss, the CEO of the Arts Center at the Capital Region, and it's really, really great having you on the air. Do you have a website if people want to know more?
We do. It is artcenteronline.org. And if you can't remember that, you can always just go to the search machines and look for Art Center in Troy, and you'll find us.
What a great service. And thank you so much. Anything else you'd like to promote? This is free airtime for you.
Just come on down to Troy and have a great time and find your creative self anywhere you want to do it.
Maybe I'll come down and just draw something, and then you can all laugh at me.
We won't laugh. We'll put it on the wall, and we'll congratulate you for trying.
Okay. Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for calling in.